Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Evolve Guides. My name is Dr. Alex and I am here to make you a better Evolve player. In this video I will be explaining how the general game mode for Evolve, named Hunt, will work for both sides. I will first be explaining how a match of Hunt progresses. Then I will give you some general information and tips for the hunters, and finally I will give you the same general information for the monster to help you out in a game of Hunt. Before the match starts, you will be able to set your preferences to which class or side you want to play. You can select a hunter class or the monster side, who will be your first choice. Then you can select the hunter class or the monster side to your second choice, and so on and so forth. When you have found a match, you will most likely be your class or side of choice. If not, you will most likely be your second class or side of choice, and so on and so forth. Now, for those of you who say, I only want to play one hunter class, do not worry, because when everyone has selected their class, you will be able to swap in between before the match starts. There can only be one of each class in the hunter team, which means only one assault, one trapper, one medic and one support. After that, you will get to choose your character. The good thing is that you can combine every character in the hunter team. Then, lastly, you get to choose your so-called perk. A perk is a small permanent bonus that will last with you for the rest of the match. It can be things like a 50% damage increase, 50% damage reduction, to name a few. I will be explaining all the perks in their own video. Now, the monster side is a bit different. After you've selected your monster, you get to spend 3 skill points over the 4 monster specific abilities. And then, just like as the hunters, you get to select a perk, which can be either damage reduction, damage increase, and so on and so forth. When a game of Hunt starts, the 4 hunters are dropped into the map by dropship and must hunt down the monster before it evolves to its maximum strength. If they fail to do so, they must then focus on defending the map objective, which is usually something like a generator or a power relay that the monster can destroy when he is maximally evolved. Hunt also has a time limit of 20 minutes, with the time being on the hunter side. The monster must have either wiped out the hunter team or destroyed the map objective in those 20 minutes. As the hunters, it is important that you start looking for the monster as soon as possible. Every moment wasted is one where the monster will grow stronger and become harder to fight. If you are inexperienced, I'd recommend that you stick together. The neutral creatures, the wildlife in Evolve, can be very dangerous if you're on your own. And not to mention that the monster himself can ambush you out of nowhere as well. Once you have found the monster, it is up to the trapper to trap the monster, the assault to damage the monster, the medic to keep the team alive during the fight, and support to keep the whole team together and assist on dealing damage too. The roles of each class will be explained thoroughly in their own videos. The wildlife in Evolve consists of all sorts of creatures, from the harmless herbivores to deadly carnivores who can be a great threat to the hunters and even become somewhat dangerous to an unevolved monster. The hunters must try and avoid the wildlife as much as possible. As mentioned before, you do not want to waste any time when you are chasing the monster, so there is simply no time to kill the wildlife. On top of that, killing the wildlife will actually make it easier for the monster to evolve. In Hunt, the monster gains a 30-second head start before the hunters touch the ground. Since the monster is weaker than the hunters at the start, he must try to gain a large distance between him and hunters while leaving as little tracks of himself as possible. While doing so, the monster must kill and eat the wildlife that wanders around the map. When he eats, he gains armor and fills his so-called evolved meter. Now, each type of wildlife is worth a certain amount of armor bars and evolve bars, but they will always fill simultaneously. Armor is important to stay alive, and evolve meter is important for, well, evolving. Once the evolve meter is full, the monster must find a safe spot on the map and start evolving. Now, evolving does cost the monster all of his armor, so he is relatively vulnerable once he is evolved. However, when you evolve, You gain 3 more skill points, just like you had at the start of the match, and you are now stage 2, which means that you are at equal strength with the hunter team, as opposed to stage 1 where you are at lesser strength than the hunter team. It is now up to the monster to start engaging the hunters, or keep looking for the wildlife and evolve to his final form, stage 3. At stage 3, you once again gain 3 skill points that you can spend in your abilities, and you are now actually stronger than the hunter team. You also become strong enough to destroy the map objective and win the game that way. It is now up to you to hunt down the hunters and take the fight to them. Thanks for watching. If you found the information from this video useful, or you simply enjoyed watching it, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any feedback, positive or negative, please leave a comment in the comment section below. My name has been Dr. Alex, and happy hunting.